And a good pleasant evening from East Carter High School as we welcome you into tonight's broadcast here on Cool TV as the Raceland Rams 19-9 tango with the East Carter Raiders 17-10. Raiders come in with a win last time out. They knocked off West Carter 3-0. Raceland fell in a devastating loss 3-2 to Fairview, in which they lost the first two sets, were trailing big in set 3, battled all the way back, but could not close the door on the fifth and final set after evening the match at 2. These two teams met back on August 29th, excuse me. It was the first 3 sets. We had to play extra points. Raceland won the match 3-1. It went 26-24 in the first 3 sets, with Raceland taking the first 2, East Carter taking set 3, and then Raceland finished things off with a set 4 win, 25-18 to win the match 3-1. The Rams that night, 2 players in double digits at the net. Shaylee Holbrook put down 11 kills, Elizabeth Rigsby with 10. Cody Haddix had a solid night moving the ball around at the setter's position, but a couple of different personnel changes for the Lady Rams have had them scrambling, trying to figure out the new positions, and one of those being Reagan Mackey. Mackey has moved from one of the players on the back to the libero, wearing the white jersey tonight, and that's, again, still trying to figure out what position that puts her in as she moves forward in that new role from just working in a normal rotation. Coming into the final week or so, about 9 days left to go in the regular season. Looking ahead for Raceland, they've got a pair of home games coming up on the 6th. That's Thursday night. That'll be Greenup County. We'll have the call from that one from the Palace at 7 p.m. right here on Cool TV. Senior night on October 10th against Lewis County. And then 2 road trips, Elliott County and Lawrence County on the 11th and 13th. And that'll close things out for regular season play for the Rams. For East Carter, they've got Russell at home tomorrow night at 7. Then that's their final game, and on the road the rest of the way. Bath County, Ashland, Menifee County, and 2 games at Holy Family on the 15th. That's the Saturday before district tournament gets underway. So things are starting to wind to a close in the regular season for volleyball, and we should have a dandy here tonight between Raceland trying to pick up their 20th win of the season. East Carter at 17-10. Both teams should be in the mix for a chance into the regional tournament. Regional tournament will be at Ashland this year. District tournament for the 63rd is at Lewis County, and I believe I'm not for certain on the 62nd district. I haven't heard of where it is going to be this year. But this one should be a dandy, and we'll see how things play out when we get things rolling. Looking back at the last time these two teams got on the court, again, it was back almost a month and a half ago. Raceland, again, 2 big players at the net of Holbrook and Rigsby. And then Cody Haddix, 9 kills in that game. And when you have Haddix that can put down 9 kills from the setter position, that's something that makes this team even more deadly. Mackey with 5 kills. They had 14 aces that night from the service line. And that's something that, again, anytime you can pick up 3 points from that service line, it certainly makes things a little more tolerable from the attack line from there. 2 players in double-digit kills for the Raiders in that match. Reagan Ackerman with 14. Zoe Stidham had 10. Mackenzie Burton put down 8. Only 7 aces that night for the Raiders, including 2 blocks. So teams meeting for their final conference and instructions from their team. And we're about ready to get things underway here tonight in Grayson. I believe we're going to have starting lineups announced, so we're going to hold tight just in case. We don't want to go to a break and then all of a sudden we're playing volleyball. Raceland will be in the orange and black jerseys tonight. East Carter in the red, white, and blue. And we are going to have starting lineups announced, so we'll go ahead and step aside for a break. When we return, ready for volleyball, East Carter and Raceland, when we continue here on Cool TV.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
Back here at East Carter High School, getting ready for the Raiders and the Rams. Should be a good one here tonight. Again, both of these teams looking to make a trip into the regional tournament. It'll be hosted at Ashland coming up in about 2-ish weeks or so. When we have a firm date on that, we'll pass that along, and certainly we plan on being there to bring coverage for the regional tournament. So we'll keep you abreast on that as well. Raiders looking to get back atop the district. For the first time since 2018, West Carter has been in control of the district, but this is a year for the Raiders to reach back up there and grab a hold of that district crown. For Raceland, they sent a shockwave across the district early in the season when they knocked off Russell, and delivering Russell their first district loss in 34 games. Now the question is, can they do it again? Big thanks to our sponsors, Clark's Pump and Shops, A&A Porta Potties, and River Cities Builders. See at the bottom of your score, the set score. At the top left, you will see the match score. And again, playing first to 3. You play to 25 if we are tied at 2 each. Then we'll play first to 15. So we're underway. Raceland will receive a bump over. There's a ball down the pipe by Stidham, dug out there by Mackey. A nice diving save on the near sideline by Sophie Hale, but she can't control it. And East Carter jumps out to an early 1-0 lead. Nice service. There's Mackey on the back row. Hale goes to the far sideline. And putting it down is Gracie Reed. We're tied at 1. Again, the Raiders in the red, white, and blue tonight. Raceland in the orange and black, and Sophie Hale back for the service for the Rams. Down the center on the back row. Bring it up front to Robinson. They'll tip it across. Here's Hale. Takes it off to Skylar Brown-Morris. Morris goes through the double block. It's dug out on the back row. And then on the near sideline, Haley Bush fires it into the net. Point goes to the Rams, and they lead this one 2-1. Deep serve to the back row, received by Blevins. Here's Bush. Hale pushes it up to Rigsby. Rigsby down the center. And we'll get a player in the net for East Carter. 3-1 Raiders. Falling behind here to Raceland early on. Nice service there. Tipped from the back row. Blevins will send it over. There's Mackey. Hale up front. Takes it off to Brown Morris. Morris goes cross court. Gracie Duff picks it out. Bush. Here's Rigsby at the net. Fires it through the double block. And she had Robinson and Stidham at the net. She'll put it down for the point, and it's 4-1 Raceland. Good start for the Rams. Jennifer Clark coming out for a quick word of encouragement on the near sideline. Deep back row. Robinson leaves it off to Bush. Bush off the antenna near side. It's out of bounds. It's 5-1 Rams. And that time off the side of the hand from Hale, so side out East Carter. Lydia Combs will come on. She'll replace Kaylee Robinson. Or excuse me. She'll replace Gracie Duff and Kaylee Robinson at the service line. Southpaw serve deep. Holbrook to Hale. Free ball by Rigsby. There's Robinson, steps up. Combs down the pipe. Stidham. Stidham pushes it into the hole. Off the net. The Rams try to play it but can't control it. Point goes to the Raiders. It's 5-3. Left-handed serve. Mackey sends it back up to the net, and Stidham trying to swing and power it down but came up empty. Mackey and Hale off. Spurlock and Cody Haddix on, and back to the service line for the Rams is Gracie Reed. You want an over-the-shoulder look in a game, right there it is. Back row, Robinson comes near side of Bush. Bush tips it over, and was it in or out? They'll say it was out. Point Raceland, 7-3. They lead it here in set one. Bush comes off. Trinity Frazier back in. So Gracie Reed lining up the serve, a dart across the line. That one's going down for an ace. First ace of the match. 8-3, Rams lead it here. And a timeout requested by East Carter. Back in 60 seconds on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
In my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Out of the timeout, Gracie Reed back to the service line for the Rams, leading 8-3, and this one's into the net. Side out, Reed comes off, Mackey back on. In for East Carter is Reagan Ackerman. She'll replace Faith Blevins, and Zoe Stidham to the service line for the Raiders. Haddix up front, brings it near side to Rigsby. Big dart as it's sent all the way back over. There's Brown Morris. Haddix takes it back out to Rigsby. Rigsby with another big swing. Dug out of the back row again. And then they'll get a 2-ball on East Carter as Kaylee Robinson was trying to get the set up front. Point to the Rams. They lead at 9-4, and Elizabeth Rigsby to the back row now for the service. And ball was going to be out, but Alexis Thompson reached out and made contact with it, so an ace and a 10-4 Rams lead. Big service there. That one flies wide. And a side out. Here comes Rigsby off. Shaylin Newman will check in as a defensive specialist. Off for the Raiders is Frazier. Back in is Haley Bush, and she'll go to the service line. 10-5 Raiders trailing here in set number 1. Mackey, Haddix off to Spurlock, and Spurlock puts it down for the point. Went cross court for the kill. 11-5. And now Skylar Brown-Morris will line up for the serve. That one's way too deep. Service error on Brown-Morris. Point East Carter. They trail it by 5, and Lydia Combs to the service. There's Newman on the back row. Haddix. Free ball sent over by Brown-Morris as she goes deep on the far side, out of bounds, 11-7. Mackey. Spurlock bumps it over to Haddix, who sends it over on a free ball. Here's Robinson. Big swing at the front. Nice block there by Holbrook. Mackey on a free ball. Robinson sends it over on the left hand. Morris sent it off of her hands too stiff. Haddix couldn't play it off the net. Point East Carter, and the lead's down to 3. Combs from the line. Newman on the back row. Haddix pushes it off to Holbrook. Holbrook goes to the deep line. Here's Ackerman with a big swing. Dug out by Brown-Morris on the back line. Spurlock with a free ball. They'll come back to Ackerman. Ackerman with a big swing again. Brown-Morris tries to pull this one in. Can't do it. And the lead's down to 2. 11-9 here in set 1. Newman. Haddix tips it over on 2. Raiders scrambling. Cross-court attack there by Alexis Thompson. Here's Spurlock on the pin. Stidham on the back row. Block at the net. Robinson digs it out. There's Combs. Now Ackerman. Brown-Morris. Newman from the back line. Raiders scrambling. Ball's going to be at the net. And a big swing there by Holbrook. Puts it down for the point. And Raceland sides out with a big swing there at the net by Shaylee Holbrook. Gracie Reed back in. Mackey steps off. And back to the service line for the Rams is Faith Spurlock. Leading by 3 here in set number 1. Good service on the back row there. Near side Thompson with a big swing. That one's out of bounds. Try to attack off that near side pin. Arching serve. Ackerman bumps it into Thompson, who pushes it onto the back row to Newman. Here's Haddix with the set. Puts it up to Holbrook. She gets into the net. She knew it as soon as she landed. Haddix's service, or set, excuse me, just a little bit too far up on the net, and she knew it as soon as she jumped. Spurlock off, back in is Mackey. And back to the service line for the Raiders is Faith Blevins. That one's into the net. 14-10. Newman off, Rigsby back in. And Shaylee Holbrook to do the service for the Rams. There's a bump. Thompson on the far side with a cross-court attack. Morris there with a dig. Here's Reed with a big swing on the back row dugout. They'll come to Thompson on the near side pin with a dart dugout back row. Reed wants to go with a big swing on the far side. She puts that one down for the point. Nice set for Reed on the far side pin, and she drives it down for a 5-point lead. 15-10. Rams leading here in set 1. Here's Stidham The big swing blocked by Rigsby at the net. And a point goes to the Rams. Initially, our up official, Bill Renzi, pointed toward the Raiders, but then they overturned it and gave the point to the Rams. So 6-point lead, largest in the match. And that was going down as an ace. Raceland would like some momentum going into the game on Thursday night, a big district contest with Greenup at the Palace. We'll have the call of that one, and a beautiful serve there by Holbrook. And she drives that one straight down and pushes the lead out to 8. And now the ball is going the opposite direction of her. 8-point margin for the Rams here in set 1. Good serve again. Here's Stidham with a dart across the net. She puts it down in front of Mackey. Side out East Carter. And the deficit is now 7 as Alexis Thompson will go to the line. And that's an ace as Mackey plays that one off of her hands into the crowd on the far sideline. Lane Lee on camera work tonight. MJ McKay, our executive producer. Mackey. Haddix with a great save near sideline. Rigsby can't finish it, though. Cody Haddix was just a heck of a scramble even to get to that ball and to give Raceland a chance. Here's Haddix up front now to Rigsby. Rigsby blocked with a big block at the net by Stidham, but it goes out of bounds. Give the kill to Rigsby. And the point for the Rams, 19-13. Haddix comes off, Sophie Hale back on. Rams trying to close it out here in set 1 and take an early 1-0 lead. Here's Stidham up front, blocked by Rigsby at the net. Rigsby sends it away, 20-13. Robinson gave her a good opportunity there for the swing, but Rigsby prowling at the net. Here's Robinson up front, comes near side to Bush. And Bush softly drops it in front of a diving Reagan Mackey for the point. Back on is Lydia Combs, as she'll replace Gracie Duff. And Kaylee Robinson with the service. Holbrook on the back line. And they got Hale with a 2-ball. Deficit's down to 5. There's Mackey. Hale up front to Rigsby. Rigsby with a big swing and a block by Stidham as she returns the favor. What was once 8 is now only 4. 20-16. Raceland clinging to a 4-point edge here in the first frame. Brown Morris. Hale scrambling, so it'll be a free ball sent over by Mackey. Holbrook back line. Hale brings it off to Brown Morris. She'll go to the back corner. Here's Bush. Hale takes it back to Brown Morris. And Brown Morris fires it into the net. Leads down to 3. 20-17 here in set 1. And the southpaw of Kaylee Robinson coming at you on your screen. Hale up front, brings it off to Reed, and Reed's shot is too deep. And what was once 8 is now 2. East Carter's battled itself all the way back on this one. It was 18-10. Here's Hale. Free ball sent over by Reed. Back row Robinson. Here's Combs coming near side to Bush. Bush into the double block. Holbrook will touch it over on 2. Raceland scrambling. It's going to be a free ball sent over by Morris. Combs saves. Here's Robinson. Back row Thompson. That's Holbrook on the back line. Here's Brown Morris having to scramble. Both teams out of system. Stidham with a big swing. Mackey with a big dig off the back row there. Great job on both sides. Here's Stidham down the pipe, and a big swing into the net. And Raceland sides out and picks up the point, 21-18. Haddix and Spurlock back on Hale and Mackey off. And Gracie Reed back to the line trying to serve it out and take a 1-0 lead here in the match. 21-18, 3-point edge for the Rams. Off the tape. Great scramble there by the Raiders to play it through. Haddix up front, leaves it up for Rigsby. Rigsby, the big swing, but a block by Stidham at the net. Didn't get it up quite high enough for Rigsby, and she just looked at Haddix, said a little bit higher next time. Let her get up with that height that she has at the net. So Stidham will go to the line now for the service, down by 2. There's Spurlock, Haddix scrambling. Holbrook off the back row. Robinson, Ackerman, and that one's deep and out of bounds. 22-19. And Rigsby out of the front row, but to the service line. Off the tape for an ace. Stidham trying to slide underneath it and get it up in the air, but could not do so. So 23-19 now. Raceland leading here in set 1. Elizabeth Rigsby. Back row Thompson. She'll fire it across again. Here's Rigsby, brings it all the way to the near sideline. Bush saves to Robinson. She'll come back to Bush. Bush through the double block and puts it down for the point. Rigsby off, Newman back in. And Hallie Bush with the service. That's Newman. Here's Haddix up front to Brown Morris on a push. And nice read there by Robinson as she saw an opening in the defense on the back line. 23-21, leads down to 2 again. Here's Bush coming at you with a dart right across the tape and put it in for an ace. Timeout, Raceland. 23-22, back in 60 seconds on the Cool Hit Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Oven Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Oven Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
23-22, Raceland leading here in set 1. Back underway. Haddix up to Spurlock. Cross court. Robinson scrambling. Comes near side to Thompson. Thompson with a big swing. That's Newman on the back row. Here's Haddix with a bump. Brown Morris lofts it across. Near side again to Thompson with a big swing through the double block. There's Haddix. He'll push it to the back row. Scrambling is Stidham. Robinson lofts it across. Great scramble again by both. Here's Spurlock. Robinson digs it all the way back up to the front. Haddix will set it up for Holbrook with a big swing through the block. A nice dig on the back row. Diving save by Haddix up front. And then Raceland can't find the connection up front. And we are tied at 23. Raceland led this set by 8 at 18-10. Here's Newman back row. Haddix on a bump over to Spurlock. Stidham. Now Robinson. Bush. Up to Haddix. Spurlock on the far side. Robinson brings it off to Thompson with a big swing. That one's on the tape. Which one? We got both points. So the point goes down to East Carter, and it's set point for the Raiders, 24-23. That one's out of bounds. So we're even at 24, and just like the first matchup between these two back in August, they had to play to at least 26. They played to 26 in the first 3 sets. So Brown Morris, Stidham, Robinson, leaves it up to Thompson, blocked there by Holbrook, and East Carter can't get it across, so the point goes to Raceland, and it's set point for the Rams. 25-24 here in set number 1. Brown Morris trying to close it out here for the Rams. Brings it near side. Stidham at the net. Robinson, it's a free ball sent over by Ackerman. There's Newman on the back row. Haddix taps it across. Thompson with a big swing into the net. She can't connect. And Raceland will take set number 1, 26-24. Set 2 when we return after this on the Coed Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Set 1 goes to the visiting Rams as they win the frame at 26-24. Top left of your screen, that is your game score. Current set score across the bottom of your screen. A big thanks to our sponsors, Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State, River City's Builders, A&A Porta Potties. Happy to have you along with us here tonight on the Coed Sports Network. Coming to you from Harold Holbrook Athletic Complex East here on the campus of East Carter High School. I'll be back with you Thursday night at the Palace for Raceland and Greenup County in a Key 63rd District tilt. And then on the 10th, the Lady Rams will close things out against Lewis County. That'll be senior night. We'll have all the festivities for you on that one. The game is scheduled for 7 o'clock, by the way, this Thursday night with Greenup. It is a triple header. Freshman, JV, varsity scheduled at 7. I wouldn't expect to start before 8. But we'll keep you abreast on social media. And, of course, you can go to our website, Cool Hits 1057. That's cool with a K. And just click on the Cool TV logo, and you can find the links directly to our YouTube page for your best chance to watch the game. All right, here we go. Raceland starting things off at the service. Cody Haddix on the back line. Here's Stidham with a big swing through the double block of Rigsby and Reed. And the Raiders side out to open up the second set with a kill by Zoe Stidham. Alexis Thompson back to the service line. Mackey, Haddix brings it off to Reed. Reed with a big swing, put it down for the point. She goes cross court from the near side pin. We're even at 1. Spurlock in, as is Brown Morris, as Reed and Hale will come off, and Reagan Mackey in the white libero jersey. There's Blevins. Robinson scrambling. It's a free ball sent over by Duff. Here's Haddix up front, takes it off to Spurlock, and a block at the net by Stidham is unsuccessful as it goes out of bounds, and Raceland takes a 2-1 lead. Now you may be asking why the different jersey color for Mackey. Why is she in the white jersey when the other team is in the orange? As a libero, you only are allowed to go on the certain parts of a court. So You cannot go past the attack line, which is on your screen where you see the red and white line on the court up front. You cannot make an attack from there. It's Rigsby with a big block up front. Nice dig on the back line. Rigsby sends it away again. It's dug out again. Stidham will send it over on a free ball. Holbrook on the back line. Back up to Haddix. Here's Rigsby. Comes up with a big swing for the point. She earned that one the hard way. But again, some teams electing to play with a libero, some not. East Carter not using a libero. But that's the reasoning that you do not see Mackey, when she is on the court, go past that red-white line. She's not allowed to. She cannot go up on an attack. She can only swing from behind that line. Here's a ball poked over. Mackey digs it on the far sideline. Haddix will send it over on a free ball. Duff from the back line up to Robinson. Near side Bush. Bush lobs it over, but Haddix is right there. Brown Morris leaves it off to Rigsby. She'll touch it across, but there's nobody home. Haddix, Brown Morris, off to Spurlock. Here's Thompson with a big swing out of the back row. Mackey tries to save it, but can't get there. And Alexis Thompson picks up the point. Duff off, Lydia Combs back on, and back to serve for the Raiders is Kaylee Robinson. 3-2. Raceland leading it here in set 2, leading the match 1-0. Nice service off the back row, and then Stidham finds the floater at the net and rises up and hammers it back down to even things at 3 here in set 2. Holbrook off the back row. Haddix brings it off to Rigsby, and Rigsby through the double block. Nice scramble there by the Raiders. And a ball poked over by Stidham that just finds the line on the far sideline. Mackey was trying to scramble to get there but can't do it. And East Carter's back in front 4-3. Holbrook, Spurlock. Haddix will go over on a free ball. Here's Robinson up front, comes near side, now down the pipe for Stidham. Haddix with a diving save, but she can't get it where she needs to go with it. As she stumbled trying to get to the ball. Stands up with a smile. That girl's always smiling. Here's Haddix. Back to Rigsby with a big swing. Blocked on the tape. Robinson pushes it across. Brown Morris high up in the air. Mackey. Here's Combs. Leaves it to Stidham. But then she got it too far over the net. And Elizabeth Rigsby just jumps up and tips it right back down. She'll hand the ball off to Shaylin Newman. And Newman will go back to the service line for the first time tonight. Raceland trailing by 1 here in the second set, but leading the match 1-0. Newman comes near sideline. Robinson to Bush. And Bush into the net. We're tied at 5. Newman got that one off the side of her hand, so side out on the service error. And East Carter's back in front 6-5. Ackerman back in. Off is Blevins. And Zoe Stidham to the service line for the Raiders. Good serve. Mackey deep. Here's Newman. Haddix on a free ball. Robinson brings it near side to Bush. Bush with a big swing, but it's too deep. We're even at 6. That one was right at our cameraman. Did it get him, MJ? We've got one camera set up on the stage area, and then the one camera right here beside our broadcast position up on the upper level. That ball coming right at you on that back row. As this is going to be an ace for Zoe Stidham as Newman can't play it. So Raiders in front 8-5. Ackerman tried to hammer it back across and almost got caught too far up in the air. Here's Maddox off to the near side. Brown Morris lobs it across and finds a soft spot in the defense for the point. She'll go to the service line. Nope, she's going to hand it off to Sophie Hale. We got a ball rolling around on the far side. You do not want to try to play volleyball with 2 balls. That would be dangerous. We've talked about it in soccer. We've kind of kidded tongue-in-cheek, so it would be fun to play soccer with 2 balls. I don't know how well that would work out, though. So Sophie Hale down by 2 with the service for the Raiders. Or, excuse me, for the Rams. Here's Thompson, a big swing out of the back row. That ball was out. Yeah, up official says, I don't think so. The flag official on the far side said that it was down, but our up official overrode it, which is his duty to do so. Haddock scrambling. Here's Mackey on a tap to Spurlock. Robinson with a spinning dig. Robinson lofts it over, left side, Newman. Haddock takes it off to Spurlock again. Spurlock with a big swing, and that one's way too deep. 9-7. Raiders in front by 2. Trailing the match 1-0. Newman scrambling. Mackey on a free ball. Nice job there by the Rams to get it across. Here's Combs up front. Ackerman. That one's deep. No question on that one. Mackey off, Reed back in. And Faith Spurlock to the service line. Deep serve. Stidham will save it. Here's Thompson. Goes cross court. That's out. We're even at 9. Faith Spurlock for the service for Raceland. Good serve there to the back row. Here's Bush down the pipe from the back line. Haddocks with the set, pushes it off to Holbrook with a big swing, puts it in the corner. And the Rams regain the lead. It's now 10-9 here in set 2. Spurlock. Nice job by the Raiders to scramble and get that one across. Haddocks there with a bump. Here's Newman back up to Haddocks on a free ball. Stidham out of the back row to Robinson. Robinson brings it near side to Thompson. Thompson with a big swing, diving save there by Newman on the back row for the Rams. And then Reed fires it across. There's Bush. They'll come back to Thompson with a big swing. Cross court for the point. We're tied at 10. Nice set there for Alexis Thompson out of the near side pin, and she drives it home for the point. Spurlock off, Mackey back on. Lydia Combs for the service for the Raiders. Good service there. Hale drives it back across. And then Ackerman goes on 2. It's dug out by Hale. Here's Holbrook on a touch. Nice diving save there by Thompson. Mackey back up at the net. Haddocks taps it across. Both teams out of system, scrambling to get back in. Here's Reed with a big swing. There's Bush. Haddocks taps it back to the center of the net. Holbrook with a big swing. Zoe Stidham on the back row. Diving forward on the far side was Robinson, but she cannot get there as the point goes to the Rams, and they lead at 11-10. And Shaylee Holbrook to do the service. Newman off, Rigsby back in. That's Bush on the back row. Here's Thompson on the near side pin. A big block there by Elizabeth Rigsby. 12-10. Rams in front of the Raiders here in set 2, leading the match. 1-0. Robinson up front to Thompson. Thompson lobs it over top. Here's Haddocks. Takes it off to Reed with a big swing. That one's wide. Right in front of Jennifer Clark, the coach for the Raiders. 12-11. Ackerman off. Back in is Faith Blevins, and she'll go to the service line for the Raiders. Driving serve. Mackey can't play it. It's into the stands, and we're even at 12. The ace for Blevins. And a back-and-forth affair here in set number 2. That one's deep. Side out Raceland. That one might have hit our cameraman. I think it hit him on the leg. It got his leg. Like I said, he is in a dangerous position. Right down the pipe on the back line there on the back end for Raceland. So Cody Haddix with the service. Here's a punch ball over. That's down. Tied at 13. Our up official, Bill Renzi. Our down official is Dave Anderson. Thompson with a laser beam. That one's in there for the ace. Diving attempt there by Mackey. Raiders back in front now, 14-13. There's Mackey off the back row. Haddock scrambling. Mackey with a free ball. High arcing ball to the back line. Duff to Robinson. Near side, Bush. Bush, and that's a 2-ball, sure is. All tied at 14. Reed off, and on his face, Spurlock. And Reagan Mackey back to the service line for the Rams. Mackey goes down that far line to the back row. Here's Robinson to Thompson with a big swing. And that one got the camera. That one got the camera. I saw the camera move on that one. We had a camera get upended in football earlier this year on a play that came out of bounds. Here's Spurlock. Bush blocked by Rigsby at the net. Here's Stidham. A diving save, but puts it down for the point. 15 all, our score. So we have some technical malfunctions on the camera that just took the direct shot. So we're only down to one camera for the moment. Either way, Raceland's going to fall behind now 16-15 after the ace there by Robinson. Mackey, free ball. Here's Robinson up front to Stidham. Stidham with a big swing. Nice diving save there by Mackey as Rigsby will tip it across. Robinson pushes it to back row. Haddix, Brown Morris, and she's called on a 2-ball there. So give the point to East Carter, and it's 17-15. Ball up at the net, and Bush trying to push it across and hit the tape. It clanged right back to her, so point Raceland. Rigsby off, Shaylin Newman back in, and she'll do the service. 17-16, East Carter leading. Deep serve. There's Haddix. Mackey with a bump up front to Spurlock and through the double block. What a great save there by Robinson, but they get her on a 2-ball, and we're tied at 17. Thompson. Robinson leaves it to Thompson with a big swing out of the back row. There's Newman. Mackey comes up front over to Spurlock on a free ball. Combs. Near side, Bush blocked at the net. Stidham pokes it across. Haddix on a ball the back row and caught Robinson off balance. And Raceland's back in front by 1 now, 18-17 here in set 2. And Jennifer Clark wants a timeout. We're back in 60 seconds on the Coed Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
18-17 Rams in front of the Raiders here at East Carter High School. James Carter, happy to have you along with us here tonight. Robinson goes off to Stidham with a big swing, double tapped. Haddix takes it off now to Spurlock. Spurlock blocked at the net, but he goes out of bounds. A kill for Spurlock, and a 2-point lead for the Rams, now 19-17 here in set number 2. Trying to take a commanding 2-0 lead in the match. Shayla Newman pokes this one to a high arcing serve. There's Thompson to Robinson. They go back to Thompson with a big swing, and she puts that one down off the hands of Brown Morris near sideline. Trying to get the other camera operational again. We popped a cable. It tore the end completely off of it, and when the ball struck the tripod a moment ago. Here's Haddix. Leaves it off to Rigsby up front. Rigsby with a big swing through the block, and they'll get Ackerman on the 2-ball. So it's a 20-18 Raceland lead. Brown Morris comes off. Sophie Hale back in. And we've got signal again, kids. Nice job, Lane Lee, doing the scrambling there, along with MJ McKay, our executive producer. Here's Mackey. Haddix takes it off to Spurlock. Cross-court attack there. Thompson can't control it. And Raceland leads this one by 3 here in set 2. 21-18. And a dandy of a serve by Sophie Hale. Just inside the antenna. And it dives onto the court for an ace. Thompson. She'll swing it from the back row down the pipe. Newman digs it out. Haddix push it off to Spurlock. A little bit too far, but Spurlock lofts it across. Here's Bush. Back to Spurlock. A cross-court attack. Thompson steps underneath it. Here's Ackerman. Lofts it across. A nice diving save there by Mackey. And then a tap to the back row by Spurlock and a point for the Rams. 23-18 here in set 2. Dandy play there by Faith Spurlock to loft it over top of the defense. Here's Hale. Robinson. Free ball sent over by Combs. Holbrook pushes to the back corner. Nice placement there by Shaylee Holbrook. And it's set point for the Rams. Trying to grab a 2-0 lead here in the match. Robinson near side. Stidham will poke it across. That one's out of bounds. And it's a 25-18 set 2 win by the Rams. Set 3 when we return after this on the Coed Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
Does your gas station or convenience store need a facelift? If so, call River City Builders at 473-4112 for your remedy. Big or small projects, River City's Builders is a company for all your needs. We have extensive experience in the petroleum industry, from routine gas dispenser and canopy maintenance to above-ground, underground tank and piping work to full-blown remodels and new builds. Call River City Builders at 473-4112 for all your petroleum needs. We'll cover your back and keep your customers pumping gas.
Back here at East Carter High School, Harold Holbrook Complex, Athletic Complex East, I should say, as Raceland grabs a commanding 2-0 lead here on East Carter, as the Rams trying to pick up their 20th win on the season. And more importantly, this has been a complete turnaround from the Rams after about 4 years of upside-down records of being under 500, some seasons very far under 500, winning only 5 or 6 games, a couple of seasons there with 8. But this would be a heck of a bounce back after a tough loss to Fairview, as they've surpassed their 2017 mark when they won 18 games. They won 18 and lost 17. That was the final season for Sarah Lynn. The last time that they won 20-plus games was back in 2016. That was when they went 30-5, won the 16th Region Championship in straight sets all the way through, defeating West, Ashland, and Rowan. Won the first game in the volleyball state tournament over Whitley County, and then fell in straight sets to Henry Clay. It was only their 5th loss of the season. But a commanding 2-0 lead. East Carter will serve it here to start set number 3. Our camera is all squared away. MJ McKay and Lane Lee did a fabulous job swapping things out as we took a direct shot from a ball and it popped a cable from our transmitter. So everything's been repaired and we're back underway. Here we go, set 3. Nice running save there by Haddix. Here's Stidham. Blocked at the net by Elizabeth Rigsby. And Raceland takes a 1-0 lead. Sophie Hale comes off. Brown Morris back in, and Cody Haddix to the service line. Rams wearing the pink ribbons in the hair tonight. It's the start of October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Here's Brown Morris with a big swing. Nice dig there by Duff. Here's Bush, near side pin, blocked at the net. Great save by the Raiders. And Bush, that was a 2-ball, sure was. She knew it as soon as she put it up. So there's so many ways that you can get a 2-ball, but typically when you get it, when you're trying to set it with both hands, you get your hands off balance slightly, and the left hand or the right hand touches it, and just slightly after that the other hand touches. As that one goes out of bounds, it's a service error, and East Carter's on the board. It's 2-1. So Kaylee Robinson. Left-handed service. Mackey dives forward. Haddix leaves it off to Rigsby. Rigsby touches it across. Nice save there by Combs up front. Here's a joust at the net. Holbrook will get the kill. As Hallie Bush could not play it up. Mackey comes off. Faith Spurlock back in. And Holbrook back to the line for the Rams, leading 3-1. Trying to close this one out in straight sets and pick up win number 20. Good service, and Thompson reached out for it at the last moment, could make a play on it. It's an ace for Holbrook, and it's a 4-1 Raceland lead. Big thanks to our sponsors for tonight's event, Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State, A&A Porta Potties, and River City's Builders. A nice serve there, scooped out of the net by Bush. Raiders scramble and keep it alive. Here's Rigsby down the center. Thompson on the back row. Haddix leaves it off to Rigsby with a big swing. There's Robinson. And East Carter's in the net. Point Raceland as they'll get Zoe Stidham on the net violation. Gracie Reed with the service. Nice service there. Stidham on the far sideline pushes it back into the center bush. Will lob it across. Holbrook takes it on the back row. Probably out, but she takes it anyways. Brown Morris goes cross court. Free ball pushed over. And that one's a 2-ball whistled against Faith Blevins. 6-1 at Raceland. Nice service there. Free ball lifted over. Holbrook out of the back line to Haddix. Over to Spurlock. Spurlock's attempt blocked. And somehow Brown Morris gets it over, but the ball goes out of bounds on the near sideline. And the point goes to Raceland. Brown Morris just tossed one up and got it in, and then as East Carter tried to put it down on the near side, thinking they had Raceland out of system, they couldn't drop it in for the point as an ace falls in for Reed. Timeout, East Carter. 8-1, Rams lead it here in set 3. We're back after this on the Kuwait Sports Network.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever.
But Clark's Pub and Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub and Shop.
Return, refresh, refuel.
When you have business away from home or a planned event far from your comfort zone, you're probably going to need a little help. Let A&A Porta Potties assist you with all your portable toilet needs. Whether on a construction site, planning for an outdoor wedding, or any other outdoor event, A&A Porta Potties are here to assist you. A&A Porta Potties also rents out storage containers, office containers, cooling fans, tables, and chairs. A&A Porta Potties, there is no event too big or too small for us to accommodate you.
Out of the timeout, 8-1, Raceland leading. Gracie Reed with the service. Thompson on the back row. Up off the rafters. A nice save by Bush as she lost it to the back row for the Rams. Here's Haddix up front. Brown Morris with a cross-court attack. Thompson on the back row. Now Bush. Raceland plays it off to the far side. There's Spurlock blocked. Haddix with a save. Spurlock will put it back in. It's a free ball by the Rams. Robinson leaves it out to Stidham. Stidham with a big swing. Rigsby with a block. Now Combs has it blocked by Rigsby as she sends it away for the point, and a 9-1 lead for the Rams. Combs off, in is Kaylee Rogers, her first action tonight. Gracie Reed. Deep service, and that one's an ace. Faith Blevins tried to get her hands up to play it off of a bump from the back row, and it just like it hit a trampoline and ricocheted straight back up to the front row. Nice service there. Thompson digs it off the court. She'll send it over on a free ball. There's Haddix, excuse me. Thompson. Bush on a free ball for the Raiders. Haddix back up front. There's Rigsby down the pipe with a big swing. Put it down for the point. 11-1 Raceland. Their largest lead at any point in the match. They led by 8 in set 1. Nearly gave that one away. They had it tied at 24. And then finished it out 26-24 in set 1. They won set 2, 25-18. And they lead this one 11-2. Reed off the service line after the error. Mackey is back in. And Zoe Stidham to the line for the Raiders. Good service to the far side, but it's a little bit too far out of bounds. So the service error makes it 12-2 and sends Elizabeth Rigsby back to the line. Good service there. It's Zoe Stidham on the back row. Here's Ackerman with a big block up at the front row. East Carter scrambles and keeps it alive. Rigsby pushes it back up front. It's a free ball. Lofted over by Holbrook. There's Stidham. Here's Ackerman. Blocked at the net by Holbrook. As Shaylee Holbrook sends it backward. 13-2. Rams leading this one up by 11. There's Stidham. Thompson from the back row. Rigsby. Haddock scrambling. Mackey fires it across. Here's Thompson with a big swing into the net, and it's a 12-point lead for the Rams. 14-2 here in set 3. Again, the game score up there in the top left. Set score at the bottom of your screen. A darting ball downward. Nice save there by Thompson. And then a cross-court attack there by Bush. Gets the far side line on a diving attempt by the Rams. They can't come up with it, so the point and side out for the Raiders. They trail it by 11, 14-3. And Hallie Bush to the service line for the Raiders. Shaylin Newman also back in. There's Brown Morris. Stidham on the back row. Here's Thompson with a big launch to the corner. That's Mackey who's right there, and she'll send it over. And Mackey is going to put it down for a kill. Again, behind that attack line, she cannot attack if she's across where the red and the white line comes together, because where she plays as a libero, she can come across that line to set, but she cannot attack. She has to stay behind that one. She did just that, and it's a 15-3 lead. Brown Morris, good service, put it down for an ace. 16-3. Rams rolling here, and we'll get a sub as Avery Giles will come on for Stidham. Ackerman lofts it back into the middle. Thompson on a free ball. Here's Haddix. Leaves it up to Holbrook. Holbrook goes deep. Trying to save it was Giles. She can't control it. Kill goes down for the Rams, and it's 17-3 here in set 3. Brown Morris. Off the side of her hand and into the net. A service error. She'll step off. Sophie Hale back on. And here comes Zoe Stidham back in for East Carter, replacing Giles. And Kaylee Rogers, service for the Raiders. That's Newman on the back row. Here's Haddix up front. Leaves it up for Holbrook with a big swing. Stidham digs it out of the back row. Here's Thompson on a cross-court attack, blocked by Holbrook. And Holbrook gets it, the block and the point. Faith Spurlock checking out. Gracie Reed comes back on, and Reagan Mackey will go back for the service for the Rams. Stidham, Robinson, Ackerman. The big dart near side. Haddock saves it, but they got her on a 2-ball. And a point for the Raiders. Here's Trinity Frazier coming on, replacing Ackerman. She'll go to the service line. Good service there. Hale got caught trying to decide whether or not to go for it or not, and it goes down as an ace for Frazier. 18-6. Raiders trail big. Still clawing it here in the set. Mackey on a free ball. Nice job there by Haddix to scoop it off the net. Here's Stidham with a big dart dug out by Mackey. Reed on a free ball, far sideline. Duff steps forward to Robinson. Here's Thompson. Mackey off the far line. Holbrook touches it across. And Stidham reached down and tried to make a play on it. Probably needed to let it go to get Robinson there. And the point for the Rams is 19-6. Gianna Cook on for the first time today. as Rigsby comes in for Newman and Holbrook steps out. Off for the Raiders is Frazier. Back in is Blevins. 19-6. Rams leading big here in set 3, trying to close it out in straight sets. And now Elizabeth Rigsby having a conversation with the official, Bill Renzi, on the far side. So everything's ready to go. Cook's service. Blevins lobs it up, and Cody Haddix sent it straight up into Gracie Reed, and all she did was grab a hold of it. She did it as soon as it got to her. She was not expecting that ball to come back up. So the point for the Raiders, it's 19-7. And Alexis Thompson coming at you on your screen right down the pipe for the service. Mackey can't play that one. It's an ace as she ricochets off of her hands over near Bill Renzi, your up official for tonight's match. So at least down to 11. Raiders still clawing their way into this one. Nice service there. Mackey sends it all the way back over off the dig, and that's a 2-ball on the Raiders. So 5 points away from a match win. Hale comes off, Brown Morris back in, and Cody Haddix to the service line for the Rams. Here's Robinson. Leaves it off to Bush, and Bush with the attack error makes it 21-8. And here's one's going all the way to the upper deck. An ace for Haddix, 22-8. And the Rams 3 points away from closing this one out in straight sets for their 20th win of the season. Ball lofted back to the net, and Rigsby sends it right back where it came from. Bill Farley telling his team finish strong. They lead at 23-8 here in set 3. Haddix puts it in the air. There's Thompson. Near side to Bush. Bush drops it across. A nice point by her. And she got it across the double block attempt at the net. So Kaylee Robinson, the southpaw, will line it up and try to get her team back in this one. There's Cook. Mackey high up. Brown Morris will tap it across. And they'll get her on a 2-ball. So point East Carter. And Robinson back to the line. Southpaw sends it forward. Cook taps it to the front line. That's Rigsby. Will loft it over on a free ball. Robinson steps forward. Combs trying to touch it across, and it's match point for the Rams. Mackey will come off. Spurlock back in, and Gracie Reed will get a chance to put this one in the books. Good shot of her there. She puts it high across the net. Robinson off to Stidham. Blocked at the net. Stidham will dig it. Robinson pushes it across. There's Haddix. Cook with a tap over to Haddix on a free ball. Blevins from the back row. Near side Bush. Cross court attack. Dug out by Holbrook on the back, Reed on the back row. Now Cook on a free ball. Here's Combs. Back to Stidham. Blocked by Rigsby. Diving attempt there by Brown Morris. She can't come up with it. So the point goes down for the Raiders. It's still match point, but Zoe Stidham to the line for the Raiders. And Cook trying to make a play on it, but it's off her hands and out of bounds. It's an ace for Stidham and the Raiders. But every point is match point from here on out, unless the Raiders would score 12 straight. And Stidham serves it into the net, and that's your match. Raceland wins this one in straight sets tonight, 26-24, 25-18, and 25-12. to pick up win number 20 on the season, their first 20-win season since 2016. With the loss, East Carter falls to 17-11. Next up for the Raiders, they're back at home here tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and then they're on the road for 5 consecutive, Bath County, Ashland, Menifee County, and then a doubleheader with Holy Family on the 15th. The Rams, they'll be back in action coming up on Thursday night at the Palace. They've got Greenup County in on a big 63rd District tilt. Then on the 10th, they'll bring in Lewis County for senior night, and they close the season out with Elliott County and Lawrence County on the road. Again, your final score here tonight, Raceland in straight sets, 26-24, 25-18, and 25-12 over East Carter. A big hat tip to our crew tonight, our executive producer, MJ McKay. Our camera operator was Lane Lee. And I am James Collier. Been happy to have you along with us here tonight. Rams win it in straight sets. 3 games done over East Carter for MJ McKay, Lane Lee, and all the great folks at the Coit Sports Network. I'm James Collier. Good night, everyone.